In the early hours of January 10, 2004, the tranquil village of Knutby, Sweden, was shattered by the sound of gunshots. Knutby, a small community of about 500 people located near Uppsala, was known for its idyllic countryside and tight-knit religious community. No one could have imagined the dark secrets that lurked beneath its peaceful facade. The center of Knutby's social life was the Philadelphian Church, a Pentecostal congregation led by the charismatic pastor Helge Fossmo. Fossmo, in his early 30s, was well respected in the community and known for his passionate sermons and guidance. He lived with his second wife, Alexandra, and their children. Next door to the Fossmos lived Daniel Linde, a 30-year-old man who worked closely with the church. Daniel was married to Åsa Waldau, known within the congregation as the Bride of Christ. This title stemmed from her claim of having a special relationship with Jesus, a belief that gained traction within the church. The relationships between these individuals were complex and intertwined. Helge Fossmo's first wife had died under mysterious circumstances in 1999, found dead in her bathtub. The death was initially ruled an accident, but whispers of suspicion never truly died down. In the months leading up to that fateful January night, tensions had been building within the church community. There were rumors of affairs, power struggles, and manipulation. Helge Fossmo, in particular, was at the center of much of this gossip, with some congregation members questioning his leadership and personal conduct. As the clock struck 4:40 a.m. on January 10, 2004, 2 gunshots pierced the quiet night. The first bullet struck Alexandra Fossmo as she slept, killing her instantly. The second shot was fired next door, hitting Daniel Linde in the face and chest. Unlike Alexandra, Daniel survived the attack, though severely wounded. The peaceful village of Knutby was thrown into chaos. As police sirens wailed in the distance, neighbors emerged from their homes in shock and disbelief. Who could have committed such a heinous act in their quiet community, and why? As dawn broke over Knutby, investigators began the painstaking process of unraveling what would become one of Sweden's most notorious criminal cases. Little did they know that the truth would be stranger than fiction, involving religious fervor, manipulation, and a web of deceit that would captivate the entire nation. As the trial for Richard Sotka began, the courtroom was filled with an air of tension and disbelief. The details of the crime were laid bare, and the chilling testimony left everyone wondering how a man could commit such a heinous act against the woman he claimed to love and her close friend. Richard Sotka was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, among other crimes. The prosecution painted a picture of a man who, feeling humiliated, chose to exact revenge in the most brutal way possible. The evidence was overwhelming. Both Rhonda Segelski and Paula O'Connor had been stabbed multiple times, with one knife still lodged in Paula's neck when the police arrived. The violence was extreme, calculated, and entirely unjustified. In court, Richard showed little emotion. He claimed self-defense, insisting that the women had provoked him, but his cold demeanor and lack of remorse told a different story. Even at the sentencing hearing, when given a chance to speak, Richard stated, "People want me to show remorse. I feel nothing." Judge Bo Liegua was not swayed by Richard's attempts to downplay his actions. In his final remarks, the judge captured the gravity of the crime. "This is somebody who was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a mother, and a grandmother even, who you basically just wiped off the face of the earth because you felt a little bit insulted." The sentence was severe but fitting. Richard Sotka was handed 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, ensuring that he would spend the rest of his days behind bars. In addition, he was ordered to pay over $16,000 in restitution, a small measure of justice for the families left to pick up the pieces. But even with justice served, the tragedy remained, a stark reminder of how fragile life can be when trust is shattered by violence. Sometimes those closest to us can hide the darkest secrets. Don't miss out on more true crime stories. Subscribe now for the next chilling tale.